Hey, this is Spencer from AdventureSpencer.com. I'm in beautiful Charleston, South Carolina today, and what I want to talk to you today about is going through the doors that are presented to you and the willingness to take risks and ultimately have an amazing life. So, what you'll typically find out while you're traveling is there's going to be these little windows of opportunity presented to you, and sometimes they can be very, very subtle. It could be as easy as someone just sitting next to you in a coffee shop, or it could be a big, what seems like monumental task in walking up to somebody that you're attracted to and just saying hello. And there's all these things that go on in your head, and a lot of it has to do with failure or the situation not being ideal. But what it really boils down to is just going up to whoever you're talking to or whatever the situation is with your cup already full. You're not seeking anything from that person. A great example is they talk about, especially in the Bible, is the cup floweth over. And basically the concept is that you are this full glass of, let's say, wine, and you're pouring over. And you're not spilling yourself on anybody, you're not forcing your presence onto anybody, but at the exact same time, somebody has the option to come up to your cup and take a drink if they wish. So you're radiating this great vibe, this awesome value. Everything about you is, you don't need anything from that person at all, and you're simply opening yourself up to the experience that is in front of you. Really simple. So let me give you a couple examples that I've experienced here in Charleston. The first one being that I was in a Starbucks. There was an older gentleman that was sitting next to me, and I really didn't think anything of him. Shout out to Terry, if you're watching this. You know, we were just sitting there next to each other or whatever, and I saw he was reading, and so I just struck up a conversation with him, and lo and behold, this guy gave me a gargantuan amount of knowledge in a very, very short amount of time. We probably talked for about 30 minutes, probably more, to be honest. And he shared me a lot of epiphanies that he experienced throughout his life. This is the type of man who used to be a mayor, was running for Congress at one point, and just a great guy. Your stereotypical Renaissance man. And he owned banks, he did this, he's created companies, he's an entrepreneur, and he has that gravitas and that vibe behind everything he says is just genuine. So I get to talking to him. He starts telling me about, we talked about, God, all sorts of things, but he really just gave me just this very compact, very pure piece of information, and he shared it with me willingly. And I wanted nothing, and I wanted nothing from him. And all I was thinking the whole time is, what can I do for you? What can I do for you? How may I service you? And I did. At one point, I literally looked at him square in the eye. I said, hey, I'm doing all this traveling. Is there anything you need? Is there anything you want? Is there anything you need? Can I do something for you? And when you come in with that mindset about what you can give to somebody, they are going to be so open to your communication. They're going to be much more willing to participate in the interaction. They're going to be much more willing to show you their true personality because they see you're being vulnerable, you're not being fake, and that you're ultimately just the type of person who the cup floweth over. Now, this vibe is electric, and it polarizes people. Some people will be put off by you. Maybe not like see you as threatening in a particular sense, but they'll see that some people just don't resonate with that energy. If you're a good, positive person and somebody's in that dark mood, and the law of state transference isn't applicable, and there's just too much resistance from that particular person, they might tell you to go away, and that's completely fine. Just be willing to just center deep within yourself, ground yourself, and just open yourself up to these experiences. Another great example here in Charleston is I went to the Angel Oak, and this is a tree that's said to be 700 years old, possibly older. I think it's the second oldest oak tree in the United States, which is really cool. Just awesome. I got a couple pictures I'll throw up there for you. Really awesome, Charleston. And there was a beautiful woman there, and I didn't really think anything too much of it. I wasn't like calculating in my head or anything like that. I was taking pictures of the tree. I was taking pictures of myself with the tree. I was thinking about shooting a video blog, and so I just went up to her, just made like a ragtag comment, just like sharing good vibes. I'm like, here, good emotions, good emotions, good vibes, good emotions, and she was into it. I came to find out that she was actually going through a lot of stuff. She had just been fired through her job. Had gone to the tree to really reflect on herself, reflect on her life, and see exactly where she was and what path she wanted to take next. And we ended up cementing a moment and sharing a lot of time together while we were here, and it was awesome. If I never went up to her, if I never approached her, and she was constantly saying, I'm so glad I met you. You really took my mind off of things. Things are great. This doesn't happen all the time, and she felt really at ease around me. And the reason why she felt that way is because I did not want anything from her. But do you see these doors? These are just two examples in the 3 days, about to be 4 days that I've been here. And I've actually been able to experience all these different things that if I never just took the step, if I never was willing to just go for it, then nothing would have fermented, nothing would have happened. If I just sat there at the Starbucks, just sat there, never said hello to that man, nothing would have happened. If I went to the Angel Oak and that girl was sitting there and I never introduced myself, nothing would have happened. So it really just boils down to being vulnerable, putting yourself in those situations, and open those doors. A really good quote that I read, particularly people who are very ill or they're on their deathbed, a lot of them say this over. You hear it time and time again. And they say, my biggest regrets were never the things that I did, it was the things that I didn't do. So don't be that person sitting on your deathbed thinking, I could have done this, I could have done that. Just go for it. Open those doors, be willing to change, be willing to open yourself, be willing to be vulnerable, and you will have a fantastic life, a much more genuine life, and just a better atmosphere as you surround yourself with those type of people. Once again, this is Spencer from AdventureSpencer.com here in Charleston, South Carolina. I'm headed to Savannah, Georgia next, and I will see you guys next time. Stay frosty. Peace.